Hey guys, I'm out here doing another drone test. As you guys know, I've been shooting DJI Air. I did the test with the Air 3S. Didn't really like that much what I saw. Obviously, Mavic 4 came out since then. Obviously, also not available in the US. So I've been looking at other options, and yeah. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna fly the Autel EVO 2 Pro 3, which is a mouthful, and compare that with the DJI Air 3 that I have, and see what the quality difference is, what the difference in quite, you know, uh, flight. But most of all, what I'm mostly interested in is photo quality and less so video quality, but I'm assuming if the photo quality is right, then the video quality is going to go ahead with that. Um, Autel obviously has a slightly larger sensor, which that was one of the things that I was really excited about the Air 3S. And on the Air 3S, the larger sensor didn't really help video quality or image quality, in my opinion. Um, so I'm excited to see what this does. Got that it was pretty affordable. Uh, I'm not too interested into the features and flight, automatic flight, intelligent flight things because I'm pretty sure DJI is going to be better in that regard than Autel. The Autel drone obviously has been out for a little bit. Again, this is just going to be about image quality and seeing what, yeah, image quality compared is going to be like. So I'm going to fly it out here. It's a nice day. It's a little windy, but shouldn't be a problem for either of the drones. All right, so we'll check that out. Hey guys, so I'm back. I shot both these drones. Just a quick background story. Um, my first drone was the Autel. Not sure I remember which one it was, but it was a great drone. Was really happy with it. Loved the files from it. When that got, then DJI kind of came on the market, took over. I think this is my third DJI drone. I have a lot of DJI stuff. Obviously, I have a DJI mic and Osmo and everything. Um, Power, blah blah blah. Anyway, the I've always kind of kept an eye on Autel because I liked what they were doing, but it seemed like they were going more for enterprise stuff, land surveying and stuff like that. So, and obviously DJI has completely cornered the drone market. They, features, tricks, anything, you name it. So, as you guys know, when the this is the Air 3, when the Air 3S came out, I was really excited because this has a smaller sensor. It's a great drone, does everything well, great features, flies fantastic. When the Air 3S came out, has a little bit, 1 inch sensor, so I was really excited about that. Checked it out, and yeah, it wasn't too hot on the actual image quality, which is really what I wanted. A little bit of an upgrade in terms of image quality over this drone. Which is not bad, but again, the size of it, they say it's 48 megapixel. It's a 12 megapixel um, sensor that they interpolate up to, 48 or something, which doesn't make any sense to me. Files just get bigger, not necessarily better. And I felt kind of the same way about the Air 3S. And obviously, Mavic 4 was announced, finally came out, just not in the US, not available. And in general, it seems like DJI is leaving the US market. You can't even buy Mavic 3 anywhere. You can't really buy anything anywhere, which I'm sure they're pretty much fine with it. I mean, I did see something um, like a Skyhawk or something like Skyhawk S1, X1 drone that looks very much like the DJI Mini 4, which leads me to believe that instead of just fighting the government, they just repackage some of their drones and just send them to the US under a different name, because it seems to be the same drone, just a yellow body. But again, the Mini doesn't really interest me. So the reason why I'm looking at this Autel drone is purely image quality. So let's get to that. Obviously, 6K has a 1-inch sensor, 20 megapixel. I'm pretty sure it's a Sony sensor. Looks pretty good on paper. Again, the Air 3S has a 1-inch sensor. I think it's 50 megapixel, which leads me to believe that it's interpolation and blah blah blah. Like I said, I compared the files. I wasn't too impressed, so I returned it. This one obviously has 2 lenses. The telephoto lens, or the longer lens, has a smaller sensor. I never use it. It's, in my opinion, it's pointless. For a lot of people, and I think this is where DJI is really successful, is that a lot of people want the intelligent flight modes, the tracking, the ultimate image quality. Probably not that important for most people. And it has log. I know a lot of people say the log is not really log. It's just a flat profile. It's fine. Sometimes I have issues with this, getting good colors. I know that at some point the DNGs didn't play nice with, I think, with Lightroom. So it was sometimes a little difficult to get good color out of this. Now, these, with my first one, never had any issues with color. So it's almost like, I mean, obviously this is lighter, smaller, this is bigger, heavier. This has flight modes and intelligent flying and da 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 da. So does this on paper. I'm not really expecting too much. It has all the safety features and everything around, so I'm not really too worried about it. Obviously, that's a concern that everybody should have with drones. Controllers are, if you compare them, this, I think the screen is a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter than this on paper. In the field, it's more or less the same. In here, they're both perfectly light and bright. In full sunlight, you have a hard time seeing either one of them. The software is mature on both of them. I didn't have any problems flying. I didn't have any problems finding features. Again, I didn't really test the intelligent flight modes because it's not really something that I'm looking for. I'm looking for ultimate image quality, and that's what I'm going to look at a little later. I just wanted to get this, just give an overview here, because for most people, DJI still makes the best drones if you can get them. And most people want, like the avatar, or the thing that follows you around. You put your hand up and follows you, and it's great. Again, this is not something that I need, that I use ever. I don't think I've ever used a tracking mode in this. I'm sure it's fantastic. This has tracking mode. I have no clue. I will probably never use it. Image quality is really the only thing that I'm interested in, especially night, because night images with this is, that's when it really, the small sensor and the mushiness really comes out. So I'm interested in seeing this. It'll be interesting. So again, smaller, lighter, bigger, heavier. Flight times are pretty much the same as far as I'm concerned. Not really a problem. I think you should get a good 25 solid minutes on each. And when I say 25 minutes, it's pretty much up to 30, 35, but I don't really like to fly with my drones until they have 10% of battery lift. That's kind of a little pushing it for me. I like to have them back. I also like to kind of see where my drone is or hear it, so always have that visual contact. So the whole range in 15 miles or kilometers and 10 kilometers doesn't make a difference to me. I'm never gonna, I've flown this, and within a mile or so of not having sightline, it says that it lost the drone. So always came back. But I think that's these 15 miles, 10 miles are only if you actually on flat field, nothing in the mid, nothing in between. Again, it's not something that I would use it for anyway. Couple of things that, one of the things that I've never liked this way of DJI. Like, I feel like I'm abusing a bird or something when I kick this leg out. It's never felt comfortable for me. I mean, it's fine, but I always feel like I'm going to rip it off every single time I do this. So I was really happy to see that this just folds out like this. Yes, I have to remember to do the top one first because this is not going to happen. I guess that's why, and I guess this is the difference between these two. This is a consumer thing. So they're like, oh, people are gonna bend the, that arm out and they're gonna break it or something. Okay, I mean, I'm flying a drone. I think I can remember how to fold the leg out. I wanted to cover. I'm gonna obviously go on the computer and look over all the images, and yeah, then we can make up our minds what everybody wants. And again, this is not a comparison of features and because in many ways this is a much better drone for most people, or DJI in general, if you can get it and if it's available and all that stuff. I would love to see the Mavic 4 Pro. Obviously not available in the US. Almost ordered it on eBay to import, but then I was like, okay, I need warranty, I need some kind of a insurance thing. I need this for work, so it's not going to work for me. And it looks like DJI is kind of leaving the US altogether. I know that the warranties and flyaway programs are still covering that for existing owners, but who knows what's going to happen? So we'll see. Hey guys, so obviously I brought all these files into Lightroom. I tried to shoot everything kind of in a similar angle. I'm going to start with this overhead view here. I'm going to keep the Autel on the right hand side, and you see a slightly different format. Yeah. I'll let you guys be the judge of all of this. I'm going to zoom in on these. Again, it's a slightly different format. I shot both in RAW. The Autel is 20 megapixel DNG, and the DJI is 12 megapixel DNG. I'm zooming in on this tree here, and I think it's pretty obvious which one is the better file, which one has more detail. And this is, I mean, it's like I said, it's pretty clear right away if you look at that treated foliage. The DJI just kind of turns that into mush, and there's definite, if you look around on this rock here. It's just more detail on the oh wow, on that plants that just looks like I'm not really sure. Yeah, it just turns to mush. I think that I'm not sure what DJI is doing here, but this is what I've seen across all the other image capturing devices. Again, they're probably not necessarily made for the highest image quality, which I'm sure most people don't really need or want. People don't really want huge files and that kind of thing. So I'm going to look at something else here. Let's see. This is a shot the other way. Again, this is this tower. Okay, let's. Oh wow. Okay, so this is something that actually surprises me because I'm not sure. Let me see. Is this the same frame? Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it's more or less the same frame. It's not that much more. Yeah. I'm just checking if this is the right resolution, but yeah, I mean, this looks so much worse. It's on the DJI, it's really strange. But again, this is what I keep coming across this with the files. I mean, I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys these files and to compare them side by side, to see, and it's pretty obvious. And it's another thing. I mean, these are I didn't work on these in any way. I also prefer the color from the Autel, but if you just look at these files, there's just clearly more information from on the Autel files, and this wasn't there with the Air 3S, which again is also a I'm gonna click on uh, I'm gonna do super resolution here just to check this out. And obviously a bigger file is gonna be, I mean, super resolution I don't think is the best way to upres an image. There's better ways to do it, but obviously if there's more information there, you can do more with it. The software can do more with it, and this is where the DJI just pretty much fails, in my opinion. I had the same feeling about the Air 3S, that it just, and I don't know what it is. Obviously, the Air 3S does not have variable aperture, so I don't know if it's a different. It has to be a different sensor than this Autel sensor, which is probably an older sensor, probably an older Sony sensor. And there's a reason why specific, cameras for movies or for filmmaking or for video have a lower pixel count, because fewer pixels means bigger pixels means more light capture, means, it depends on what you want to do. I'm gonna look at some videos too here, but you guys saw that, so that was, even with, especially with super resolution, like the more you zoom in and the more you blow it up, where the worse it gets with the DJI, because especially foliage, that's why I shot the stuff. It just yeah, it doesn't work that well. So this is something that I ended up shooting as well, because I did this with the Air 3S, and you can check that video out. This is I mean, you can see the purple fringing on the DJI. It's just yeah, I mean, doesn't look good. Now I can obviously adjust this with the slider, but it introduces other colors and it just doesn't look clean. That shot, for my purposes, that shot is not salvageable. And I keep finding this, and I've kept finding this with the DJI files, and that's why I'm, looking at a better image capturing device, drone, a better photo drone for photos. Again, I'd love to see what the Mavic 4 does. I'm sure it's excellent. From what I've seen in the reviews, it just has more resolution than clearly more resolution than the Air 3S. But I'm looking at this now, and I'm thinking it'd be interesting to see the Mavic 4 Pro compared to the Autel. How those files compare, because this has quite a bit more resolution. So obviously the Mavic 4 Pro has a lot more stuff like this. The Autel doesn't have, it doesn't even have vertical shooting. You'd have to, but again, it's not necessarily a problem because you just have to crop it in Final Cut or wherever you work, whatever you work in. You just have to crop it. Look at the horizon line. This just looks a lot better, in my opinion. Again, if you need intelligent flight modes, if you need a couple of tricks, if you want a smaller drone, the Autel is just not for you at all. But if you want image quality, I think I found my drone here. Yeah, I'm really surprised and really impressed with it. I actually did not necessarily expect the difference to be that big. So let's look at some video. And this is Lightroom, so I don't think I can really zoom into the video. I shot the video with existing with baked in color, and I'm not sure if this is 4K or 6K. I'm gonna have to look at that to make sure. I'm assuming that okay. I'm assuming that video is not gonna be that much of a difference, especially not zoomed in. But again, I don't really want to zoom in on video, so I've never really had much of an issue with video with the DJI, with the video quality. It does get really mushy at night. I've noticed that, and I shot a couple of things with the Autel really quickly. I can't show that here, and the night shots look really good. Obviously, slightly bigger sensor, bigger pixels. Yeah, so this is the DJI, and yeah, that really doesn't look that good. Even that looks. I mean, I hope that you guys can see this with YouTube compression as well. But right in there, it just loses the detail. It just again turns to mush. So I'm surprised and impressed with the way the Autel handles them. So, I mean, I'm really impressed. I think the image quality is clearly it's clearly better. I mean, look at that magenta fringing there. That is crazy on the DJI. I mean, it's a sunny day, and then yes, of course, this is super high, but the Autel just handles it much better. And I'm pretty sure that with the Autel that can be fixed. With the DJI, it can't be fixed. There's just too much there. It's just gone. That shot is gone. Yeah, it just introduces weird stuff. So I guess I'm a little bit at a loss of words here because I wasn't sure how much I thought that I would, that obviously for somebody who needs a smaller, lighter drone for travel, if you want to get these shots that kind of just, you know, we keep talking about an iPhone as the perfect camera because it's there and you can get the shot and it does the tricks and it'll give you great quality. It's not the ultimate quality. Um, but it does a very good job. And in a way, that's DJI covers that perfectly. With again, if you can get it, I looked up that other drone on Amazon, the I think it's a Sky Rover X1, and it seems like it's a DJI Mini 4, and it's it's a it's a great looking drone. But if you compare image quality, I mean, man, look at that. That's not even close. And with that kind of detail on the Autel, that can be that can be that can handle probably quite some enlargement. I also didn't really play with the f-stop. Obviously, the Autel has a variable f-stop, so 2.8 to I think f11. So I shot this at 5.6 just because I figured it's kind of the sweet spot for the lens. I obviously have to figure that out too, see if that actually is the sweet spot. But that makes a difference too in terms of working as a photographer. But for most people, that doesn't make a sense either. So anyway, I'll leave you guys with this. Thanks for watching if you made it that far. It's a keeper.